Hi, Donovan West families. This is Trish Gibson here. I just decided to go ahead and make a quick video. I've been receiving some messages and some emails from family members, some parents, with some concerns or questions about how things are going to be running and what's going on for the future. And I know Chris Lackey at the senior high school, he's been getting some of the same types of emails. So we've just decided that we'll make a quick video. Hopefully this will answer a lot of questions, and some of you that haven't quite had the time to sit down and write us emails, hopefully this will answer some of your questions as well. I'm just going to be very honest. We don't really know a lot right now. Things have been changing quickly and pretty drastically just recently within the state of Kansas. So we're kind of up in the air, just like you are. We're not really sure the direction that we're taking. We were planning on everything going as is, starting August 20th, getting our students back in our buildings and starting with education. We were really excited for that move. And then, as you know, last week, Governor Kelly announced that she made an executive order to start schools on September 9th. And so that kind of took us by surprise as well, as I'm sure it did you. And she's also mandating that masks are to be worn by all students just due to the recent spike of COVID cases here in the state of Kansas. We were kind of shocked with that too. But what we did find out then is her executive order is not necessarily the mandate. We were unsure at the time, but Kansas State's school board members have to take vote on her executive order. And they will be taking a vote on her order sometime this week. We've heard Wednesday up to possibly even Thursday. We're hoping to find out and know by Thursday what the state school board has decided and voted on. They can take Governor Kelly's executive order, however, and vote no, and all schools can go ahead and reopen on the dates that they had planned. So we'll let you know when we find out whether or not the school board members have voted either yes, they agree with Governor Kelly's executive order, or no, they do not agree. And then Governor Kelly is going to have to take it back, and we'll have to start this all over again. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to add our school board members' information and contact information to this post. Whether you are for starting on August 20th or you want to wait and start on September 9th, you will be able to give your opinion to our school board member. Her name is Dina Horst. She is in charge of, or she represents Northeast Kansas, so Donovan West. So our member, that if you want to contact and let her know your opinions, either way, her information will be in this post. So please feel free to contact, again, either way, whatever your opinions are, just so she knows, because she's representing us here in Northeast Kansas. Let me see. Another thing on my notes that I want to talk about. The Kansas State Board of Education created this summer a task force, and they've been working very diligently. They have had administrators and teachers, health professionals, and parents across the state. They've been meeting very regularly during the beginning or through the whole beginning of summer, and they created a document. This document is a plan for reopening. Now, we have had our hands on this plan for a little over a week so far. It is called Navigating Change, Kansas's Guide to Learning and School Safety Operations. I'm going to also put a link to this plan right here on this post so you can look at this plan. Now, the only problem, this plan is over 1,000 pages long. I will tell you the first probably 1,000 pages is they've taken all of the grade bands, the different grade levels, and all the subject areas. And what they have done, the first 1,000 pages is geared towards academics. It takes the standards and it condenses them down to what is essential. and it gives the teachers a guide of making sure all essential standards are being covered during this difficult pandemic. So the first 1,000 pages are all geared towards grade levels, content areas, and essential standards. The last probably 40 pages of this document might be the pages that you might have an interest of looking at. Those are the operational pages and how school districts are going to operate with reopening. So if you are interested in looking at this document, I'm going to add it to the post as well. I'm going to link it. And again, it's over 1,000 pages. The last 40 pages are on operations and how or what is going to be expected, not required, just expected or recommended. Recommended is probably a better word, recommended for all school districts, so that we can make the decisions that's best for our district and moving forward to create a plan for our district. So just remember, when you look at this, it is not mandated from the state of Kansas. It's just kind of recommendations that we can use to create our own plan. Within this recommendation, what they have done is they have broken down our learning options into 3 different levels. The first level, and it really depends on the cases we have here in Donovan County. The first level, they're going to call it or have called it the low restriction level. And basically, if our numbers remain low and even declining, and we see a trend of low numbers, they're going to have our district placed on the low restriction, and that will suggest that we are able to meet in school, in-person learning, and so our students will be able to be in our building with just following some guidelines from our plan to make sure, again, that we are staying healthy and safe. But that's called the low restriction recommended guidelines, and that is if we have very few cases in our county, we'll be able to function on low restriction in school, on-site learning. If Donovan County happens to have a rise in some COVID cases, we will move from low restriction to what's called moderate restriction learning environments. And an option of this is called hybrid learning. And basically what that is it breaks students into smaller numbers. And some students will be learning in school while some will be learning remotely. And then we'll switch later in the week just to try and keep numbers down during this crisis, this pandemic. So that is moderate, and that's if we start to have more cases in our area, which hopefully we do not. But we'll go into what's called hybrid learning mode. If we happen to have an increased rate of cases in our district, we will move then into what's called the high restriction option. And that will look a lot like what we did at during the spring, this last spring, when we were learning remotely from home. So again, those are the 3 levels of recommended learning styles or learning options that the state has given us depending on the amount of cases in our district. And so it's just going to be a waiting game, just constantly checking the news and watching our health department and the numbers that get posted. Right now, Donovan County has very, very low numbers. So thank you, parents, for doing all you can, all the measures you have been doing to keep our numbers very minimal. It's definitely going to help with education and getting our kiddos back in the buildings and having as normal of education as what we can. So thank you, and continue with those safety measures that you have been doing, because our numbers here in Donovan County are low. Let's see. Oh, we did send out a survey last week. We will be looking, or have been looking at the survey responses. And according to our survey that was sent out to parents and staff members, it does look like the majority of you and our teachers are hoping to physically be present in our buildings at the start of school. So of course there are some varying degrees of concern and different comfort levels for our families, and that really kind of reflects the diversity of our district. So each family in our district, they have unique sets of circumstances, whether that is work schedules. We know how difficult work schedules and demands can be. We also know that some of our families here in our district have some family health risks. that we have to really be conscientious of. And then also we have to take in consideration that some of our families still don't even have internet access. So while moving forward, we're going to take information from our survey, and we will take those comments and those concerns from our family members, and we will use that information when we continue to make our plan of how to best reopen Doniphan West schools. So thank you very much for taking that survey and giving us the information that we need. The school districts, what we have done is we have, Chris Lackey and myself, we have chosen 5 teachers from our schools, 5 from the junior high school, 5 from the elementary, our counselor, our nurse, our transportation director, our maintenance director. We have created a little task force just within our district alone, and we are taking the survey information, we are taking the KSDE's plan that they have sent out, we're taking both of those bits of info, and we're going to create a plan that best meets the needs of Doniphan West and our kids and our families here. So we have started meeting, and then again, when the Governor Kelly came out and said that schools would not be starting until September 9th, that kind of put a kink in things, and we kind of halted. And we're just kind of waiting right now to see when the school board or how they will vote on whether or not we have extra time to continue with that planning, or if we need to reconvene and continue making that plan to get it ready for school. So just depending on, again, on the vote of the school board members and how quickly we need to move forward with our plan, or if we'll have some extra time to meet with that. So just remember, we do stand committed to your children and the health and safety of your children, our staff members, and your families. And also we're committed to their academic success, and we are really pushing to make education as normal as we can for our students and our families. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact Chris Lackey or myself. Send us emails. We decided again to make this video to answer some of the questions that have been coming in, but if we didn't answer any of your questions or didn't completely answer your questions, shoot us another email and we'll answer it. Again, we're kind of in the same boat you are. We don't know a lot right now. It's going to depend on the vote of the state board. Again, 2 documents that I'm going to add to this post. I will add our board members, the state board members, if you want to reach out to Dina Horst and let her know your opinions either way with reopening of schools. And I'm also going to send the reopening plan that the state of Kansas has given each school district. So those resources will be available to you to look over. We are hoping that we move forward. We do have our enrollment day set for Tuesday, August 4th. We will also be holding some roundup during that day. I'll get some information out to kindergarten and also preschool parents, but we're hoping to move right on in and have our enrollment day continue with August the 4th, and we'll do our roundup days on that, our screening on that day as well. Again, thank you so much for all the measures you have been putting forth to keep the numbers low here in Doniphan County. Continue. If we do find out that we are required to wear masks, some of you have been having your children wear masks. Some of you have not. If we are mandated that we have to wear the mask, just please make sure that you take that action and you find some masks for your children so that they will be able to comfortably wear them at school. So find something that fits them very well, and maybe even practice wearing them a little bit at home if that mandate does move forward and we are expected. Some of you, we know, just for health concerns, you're going to go ahead and have your children wear masks. So that right now is just at the recommendation of whatever feels natural and healthy and safe for you until the mandate comes. If we are mandated, then we will require all of our students to wear the masks. Again, forward any questions you have after this on to Mr. Lackey or to myself. We hope that you guys just stay safe and healthy and keep our kiddos safe and healthy. Thanks a lot, and don't forget to send any questions.